and then I'll introduce you and we'll roll with it. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Hey, I'm here with Wayne Will, a former student from Ridgewater College. And Wayne, you have a nickname that people call you. They call you Buddy. How did you get the nickname Buddy?
Oh, this goes way back. Back to the day that I was born, pretty much. My oldest sister wanted to name me Buddy, and she just called me Buddy forever. So it kind of stuck. But
So did everybody else in the family call you Buddy as well, or did it
no,
just start with your
not
sister?
everybody. It was just the sister for a while, and then it started to catch on a little bit with her friends and family, and then it kind of stuck. So
And it stuck, and you rolled with it. All right.
Yeah.
So where was home for you growing up?
Growing up, I grew up in a little town right on the Oregon-California border in California. Tule Lake is the name of the town. Shout out to my homeboys in Tule. No, it was a little farming community back home, rural, but it was a good time. Good time.
So you grew up in California.
That's right.
And then you moved to Wilmer to go to school at Ridgewater. How did you find Ridgewater, and what was that transition like?
Well, it starts with my brother. He came out and he went to school in Crookston, Minnesota at the U of M there. And he got a job with a farm, and then I got a job with the same farm after high school. And I heard about Ridgewater actually just before I came out to Minnesota, and checked it out. And I was like, hey, this looks like the school for me. I wasn't a typical university style person, so I was like, we might as well just get the 2 years out of the way and see what goes from there. So
And so what was the transition like then for you from high school in California and then moving out to Minnesota? What was the transition like then to college? What was that transition like?
It wasn't bad really, because I did take a semester off. I worked for a semester before I actually went to college, and then it was kind of that was a smoother transition for me, just to kind of get into kind of a workflow of life, and then all of a sudden and then go back into school for a little bit. So it wasn't a bad transition at all. So
well, good. So when you transition into school, you start making friends, and you guys had a lot of fun with those friends. I want you to talk to me about something called Western Wednesday and perhaps Bib Thursday.
I can't take credit for either of those, but I did participate in those quite religiously almost. But Western Wednesday, I don't know how exactly that got started, but it was definitely something that caught on very quickly, mostly in the ag department. But there was a couple of stragglers in the rest of the school that did. But no, it just caught on, and we just kept doing it. So
what was the most unique place you wore your Western attire or your bibs to while you were in school?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably any regular school function that they had, anything special going on, people were like, what's going on here? What are these yahoos doing over here? And especially the bibs, though. The bibs is really what got people, and that's all Asa Nelson right there. He started that, so I don't know, there was probably a group of 10 or 15 of us that actually caught on there after a while. So, but that was the best right there.
So you got involved at school with things, and you also did stuff outside of school. What was your favorite thing to do outside of school in the Ridgewater community and in the Wilmer community?
Well, it took a little while, but I finally made some friends that were like living kind of in the area, that grew up in the area. So it was kind of good to get out of Wilmer for just a little bit, and like especially visiting some buddies down in southern Minnesota, and then just outside of Wilmer there's some buddies there, just to get to know their families and hang out with them and enjoy life, just doing the crazy stuff that we did out in their places. So
if you could give an advice to a student who might be from outside of the community, what advice would you give them as far as getting plugged in the community?
Find a church. That's one of the big things. I know that helped me out a lot, actually. And then just networking with people that, don't be shy at school, because there's a lot of cool people that you can meet. And if you just get out of your comfort zone, you can meet some really cool people, and just introduce yourself, ask questions about other people, focus, kind of on them, and, kind of reciprocate that feeling back and forth. So
Absolutely.
just get to know people. That's one of the biggest things right there.
That's some really good advice. I always tell students, I'm like, uh, if you want to be bored here, spend as much time as you can in your apartment. But if you want to really make the most out of this experience, get out and see the community. It's going to be what you make it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I did
So,
that for a little while, the little apartment thing. Stayed there for like one semester of college, and I was like, I don't really like to get out, but I figured out that it's way better out there. So
absolutely. So what are you doing now that you're removed? When did you graduate from Ridgewater, and then what did you start doing after your graduation?
yeah, so I did the 2.5 year program, and I graduated in spring of 17. And I went back to work on the farm up in northwest Minnesota where I started. And then right now, currently, I've been working for True North Equipment, which is a John Deere dealership. And I'm the precision ag consultant there. So now I bought a house last year, just kind of doing the whole life thing. Got a pretty awesome girlfriend, and God is good. It's just been an awesome ride since I got out of college. And I miss college for sure. I miss the people. I miss hanging out with friends all the time. But life moves on.
Yes, it does. You've transitioned well, both into school and then since out of school. How did you grow while you were in school at Ridgewater, both as a person and professionally, anywhere you want to take that?
Yeah, for sure. No, I grew in a lot of aspects as far as networking and, getting to know people and getting out of my comfort zone. I learned a lot in that aspect. Also learned that there's a lot of more different people out there than just in the ag department, which is awesome. We need everybody. Just to kind of get outside of that monoculture that is kind of perpetuated sometimes in rural communities. But that was definitely, I don't know, I grew a lot, spiritually, with the group of friends that I had, that we had Bible studies on Thursday nights, and started in a little apartment. We had to move it to the ministry center. So, but no, it was a really good time. So
now in our current climate, has the current pandemic and some of the social restrictions, has that impacted you in what you try to do in any way, as far as professionally or in your personal life?
Yeah, I'd say it's affected a little bit of everything right now, just because we're working from home now with our jobs, and staying away from customers as much as possible, and just any kind of interaction with other people, really just trying to cut that to a minimum, which is really hard because I miss people. I miss hanging out with people and talking to people, and just the church thing too. That's been a huge thing for me, is like not being able to go to church anymore for a long time. So that's been one of the hardest things for me, is just the networking with people, and but we're all going through it right now, so it's not something that we can't get through. But at the same time, I think that something really good can come from all this, because of the busyness of life and people that get caught up in the rat race of got to take the kids to this, or I got to be busy all the time, or I got to do this. Now we're like, what do I do? Do I watch Netflix, or do I actually work, or do I, So I think it can be good, because it makes it slow down and just kind of, step back and be like, man, maybe my relationship with God needs a little work, and I could die from this whole coronavirus thing, I think it could be a really good thing. So
Let's say in time when everything gets closer to normal or a new normal, what's the first thing you want to do with your reinstated freedoms and liberties?
Oh, that's a good question. I would like to, I don't know, maybe have like a barbecue or something. That'd be pretty cool. Invite all the neighbors over, or go see the girlfriend and her family. Just hang out with as many people as I can.
Now, has final question here then, has that changed how you date? Being able to have a relationship while we're kind of on social distancing?
It has changed a little bit. We've probably come to the point where social distancing isn't going to do us a lot of good right now between us two. So, which is definitely, it has changed the dynamic a little bit, but it's not, it's not the worst thing. So.
Anything else you want to tell people about your Ridgewater experience? Like, such as, this will be the final question. What would you tell the people in the Wilmer area about how they can best support Ridgewater students?
I would say figure out how you can feed them. That is one of the best things you can do for a college student. Whether that's inviting a college student to your home or helping out with the ministry center, donating food, donating your time. Just, yeah, figure out how you can connect with these college students. And probably one of the best ways is through food. So
how much did that impact you, by the way? How much did that impact you?
That was huge. Just had a place to go and hang out at the ministry center every twice a week there, and just it was awesome just getting to see all the people that would come in there and partake with us. So.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for your time, Wayne. I'm going to shut it down right here. But thanks for your time. And man, thanks for all the kind words. And it's great to catch up with you.
Heck yeah. Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff.